What is going on, everybody? It's your boy John, and welcome back to Gearbox. So today we are working on the 2022 Mark V Toyota Supra, and as you may recall, I bought my Supra used, and unfortunately when I bought that car used, there was a little itty bitty blemish on the front splitter or lip, I guess you could call it. It's bugged me ever since I've had it. I'm a bit of a perfectionist myself. So I guess before we get into this and show you what exactly we're going to be installing today, let me go and show you the blemish on the car. We'll unbox the parts, we'll get to installing, and hopefully this will be a brand new front lip to the 2022 Supra. All right, y'all, so as I was saying, this beautiful Toyota Supra right here was purchased in January of this year, so 2024. This is a 2022 model year. The one issue this car had was it had a little tiny blemish on the front lip of the car. And I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all that right now. To the untrained eye, I guess you could say, you probably wouldn't notice it. But right here, you can see it's a little bit deformed, obviously a little bit of chipping there. But what we've got is basically a piece that's gonna go over this as well as extend this lip out. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 special as far as I'm concerned, both from a fixing something that's broken, but also making it better as we go ahead and install this piece. So what I want to do is go inside where the part is, show you the part, give you a rundown of what we will be running on the front of the Supra. Then we'll get into the process of installing, and should be pretty easy. Famous last words, I guess you could say, but we'll go ahead and get right into it. All right, so as we walk into my office where this piece is, this is going to be a piece from Extreme Online Store. This is the carbon fiber front splitter lip, which I know sounds kind of ridiculous, but obviously Toyota Supra 2020 and up, carbon fiber front lip option. So I have, for simplicity's sake, already went ahead and kind of undid all the tape here and took a peek, because you guys know me. So we have hardware here, so it looks like a little bit of double-sided tape, couple self-tappers, nothing too crazy. And then we get in here and we have these beautiful carbon fiber pieces. So if you can't tell, basically, and pardon the mess here, turns out moving in is just consistently a bunch of boxes showing up to your front door, and I play Mr. Recycling Man. But I digress. So this is basically going to go over the front of the pre-existing lip, hence the double-sided tape. We'll slip her on, and then we'll have these pre-drilled holes to be able to smoke some self-tappers through there and make sure she's nice and secure. So what I want to do now is actually go ahead and mock up these two pieces. So if you can't tell, this is going to be the driver's side, and then we have the passenger side right in here. I went ahead and only did the outer two pieces of the front lip. There is still that middle piece. It's kind of 3 different sections. I'll get that soon, but in order to hide that one piece, I had to go with the outsides first. But regardless, we'll mock it up, because to be honest, I'm just super excited and just want to see how it's going to look. And I might give you guys a sneak peek, maybe, maybe not. We'll mock it up, we'll wash the car down, or at least that section of the front lip, just to make sure there's a good adhesion point. And then we'll do the double-sided tape, we'll smoke some holes, and should be pretty easy. But I could not be more excited for this. This is going to be the second carbon fiber option we have on the car. If you recall, we have the duckbill now. We're gonna have the front lips at this point, so it's gonna be a nice balance. Beautiful. Enough talking, not enough doing, so let's go for it. All right, so upon further review, it looks like we're actually gonna have to take the front bumper off of this car, which is not a big deal. It's just gonna be a little more time consuming than I originally thought. The reason being is, if you look under here, I'm not sure if you can see that, but these little tabs that really make no sense why they're there, are in the way. So basically we have to separate the bumper from the under paneling of the car to then slip these bad boys on. We'll get the double-sided tape, we'll get some self-tapping screws, and we'll be good. To my understanding, to get the bumper off, there are a couple bolts right here, all over the top, obviously right here, and then a couple down the side. Actually, you can see one right there. And then we pull it off. Just as always, be careful when taking off the bumper because of the sensors and the wires to the sensors. So we'll get the bumper off, start the process, and hopefully not end up sweating our ass off, but as you guys know, that's probably not gonna be the case. For the record, I had to go ahead and turn the car on so I could turn the wheels to give myself clearance. Keep in mind, I am running a wider wheel and tire than stock, so I would assume, if you're not running stock wheels, you maybe wouldn't have to do that, but pretty easy nonetheless. So we have 3 8 mils here, 2 8 mils here, and then I think it's 4 10 mils across the top. So we've got everything done. Now we're gonna pull the bumper off, and once again, be careful of the wires, and then it should be pretty easy to get these puppies on. Hopefully getting the bumper off isn't a total pain in the ass, but time will tell. Either way, not so bad at this point. I also failed to mention that there's a metric shit ton of 8 mils that connect the underside of the bumper as well. You'll be able to see it pretty easily. Just look for the actual painted part of the bumper where it kind of matches up with the plastic under trays. I wanna say there are like 8 to 10 of them. Not difficult, just something to remember. So now I think we're ready to pull the bumper off. Obviously I already pulled that tab out. But should pull right off, and then we'll go ahead and get to install. All right, so we finally have the bumper off. One thing to keep in mind as well that I didn't mention are these Torx bolts right here. So it actually goes into the crash bar. So it's a T30. Once you do that, make sure you disconnect this wiring harness right here. It's basically just a pinch and pull. Pretty easy, but obviously don't want to rip that off. That would not be a good day. So anyway, all in all, not really bad, just a lot of bolts, really. Kind of shocked they have that many bolts to hold on the damn bumper, but I didn't design the car, so who cares? Anyway, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna mock these up on the bumper, and then we're gonna figure out, hopefully we can use some nuts and bolts just for more of a permanent location or attachment. I need to go look in my toolbox to see if we have anything that would fit. But once we do that, rinse and repeat, and job's kind of done. Not difficult, it is getting humid here in South Carolina, but we're not gonna let that stop us. So I'm gonna set you down, see what we need to do next, and we'll go from there. All right, so right now I have a piece test fitted right here. As you can see, there is some gapping issues. That's not too uncommon. We'll just be able to massage that piece into place. So what I want to do is get an anchor point right here and get that flush, and then do the same thing over there. And then we'll be able to really make sure this thing is seated in and looks the way it should. It looks awesome. I can't wait to be running this. I also like how, you know, if you look here, this wraps all the way around, as opposed to on this side, which you can't really see and I don't want to move it, but it covers the whole bumper instead of stopping. I always hated that about that front splitter. So this is a nice, you know, touch, I guess you could say. So let me get this thing anchored in. We'll smoke some holes, get it permanent, and then we'll be on to the passenger side and we'll reinstall the bumper. So we officially have one side on. Here it is. I know the fitment is a little bit off. I'm pretty damn certain it's because that part of the front lip was dinged up. But either way, not too terribly hard to kind of get on and start to feel out how this thing actually fits. What I would recommend is start here and work your way out, at least to get the initial fitment and like get it on the bumper. Getting it around, you know, to wrap around the side of the bumper is a little bit difficult because it does have a good true fit. And once again, that is the side that had the ding on it. So I think that was messing with us a little bit. But either way, gonna go for numero dos, put it on over there, and then we'll be reinstalling the bumper. I'm gonna pick you guys back up once we have the bumper back on the car. And boy, am I excited to show you guys how this looks, because I can already tell it's looking good. And now it's time for the main event, the first reveal of the carbon fiber front lip on the 2022 Toyota Supra. And I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil it. It looks amazing, but without further ado, here we go. So right here is obviously the finished product. One thing I am gonna say, guys, if you're gonna get this, the fitment isn't perfect. And I hate to say that, it just isn't, but it still gets the job done. You wouldn't really notice it if, unless you were like getting judged on your car. But like some of this stuff right here, like it all flows decent, but it's just, I don't know, a little bit to be desired. But either way, guys, this looks amazing. One thing I do want to point out is when you go back to reinstall the front bumper, keep in mind that carbon fiber is going to cover some of the attachment points for the underside of the bumper. In my opinion, that's not the biggest deal ever. Really, as long as you have the top bolts and the side bolts and kind of the fender liner there, that's gonna be the main important stuff. Obviously, try to get as many in as you possibly can, but you're not gonna get all of them, and that is okay. But guys, super excited with this. I love how it comes around and wraps around the entire piece here. So now we have that carbon fiber piece along with the duckbill. Super, super pumped with where this car is at right now and the plans we have for the future. So guys, if you have any questions on this install process, please drop them in the comment section down below. If you like this video and this type of content, please give this video a big fat thumbs up. And as always, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. And until next time, peace.